walk again. Can't you see I've got no rhythm? So I said I'll never stand again. The way I stood with you.
Let there be light, light, light.
Got him! Got him!
That's hush.
KS Radio Show, hosted by Alicio, aka KS. You got a new hot record you can't get on the airways? Well, they take music submissions over here at Alicio Torres 1989 at yahoo.com.
Say what?
Alicio started the KS Radio Show in January 2016, and it is recorded live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time through www.blogtalkradio.com. Not only is the KS Radio Show the home of the most exclusive music and interviews, you can also give a birthday shout out to your homies.
Happy birthday!
Follow on Instagram and Twitter at KS Radio Show, or contact Alicio directly. His phone number is 513-370-4968. Alicio is down to interview anybody with a testimony, so get with it or get lost, get right or get left. Yeah.
FRIENDS, miss me with them indirect boxes on the internet. I passed on never intersect. How you in the click, but you don't know me at all. All your shots get intercepted, so don't throw me the ball.
Hustle. You have to hustle, put in the hard work. There's no excuses on the road to success. Even when you feel defeated, you gotta keep going. Pray. You have to pray for everything that you want and everything that you're thankful for. When it's not going the way that you want, you still gotta trust the process. Eat. After the hard work, it's time to celebrate and fellowship with the ones who believed in you. And if they didn't believe you, let's turn them into believers. Hustle, pray, eat. It's the brand that motivates.
Pardon me if my speech seems tempered with passion, but lately my life ain't been no crystal stair. Instead of graduations and walking across stages and going to basketball games, I'm seeing riots and fires and people who are dying from a lack of air. I would speak, but see, the way this mask on my face is set up, I'm a little distant, and frankly, I'm tired. And I really don't understand the argument, because some of us have been wearing masks to church long before they were required, but I digress. We smile, but see, depression has a funny way with timing, because as soon as I think it's gonna get better, the news only reminds me every 4 minutes exactly how many people are dying. This can't be life. They say things get better with time. How, Sway? Because Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor didn't get more time. Instead, time rewarded them with death, the hard way. I want to keep the faith, but I'd be lying if I didn't say sometimes I feel forgotten, because never leave me nor forsake me seems to fade when my brothers and sisters are rotten. The pastor spoke about racism on Sunday, but that was weeks ago, and now we're on to the next. While Robert Fuller and Malcolm Harsh were found in sunny Southern California in a tree hanging by their necks, so I need answers. 'Cause if red and yellow, black and white are all precious in his sight, then why does fear now come in squad cars when police come out at night? If we can launch people into space where no one is, why can't we get ventilators in hospitals just so people can live? I don't see the issue. 'Cause you're telling me my car can park itself, drive itself, but I can't go to the store and buy tissue. Something ain't adding up. I've been in the house 3 whole months and life will never be the same. I got gloves, I got masks, I got disinfectant. I bought this story, hook, line, and sinker. I've sanitized my hands so much, alcohol is coming out my pores, and I have never been a drinker, so I need answers. So what do? Me? Oh, I turn to the place this record has never been wrong. Written over 2,000 years ago and still correct. Still right, still true, song after song. See, this story, like so many before, was already in the bookcases. There will be nation rising up against nation, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. I know you feel like there's no hope, and this world is in a downward spiral. But can I tell you something? At the peak of hopelessness is a perfect time for revival. because God has never lost, and he is still on the throne, and he will reign forever after statues, after flags, protesters, and corona are all long gone. There is a hope found in him that this world needs to know, and it's up to us, it is up to you to make sure that his love is known. My brother, my sister, our skin color don't make us divided, because the blood that was shed on Calvary is relentless, and it has hope, joy, and unity inside it. You looking for an answer? Well, let me be frank and very clear. The only answer that will change anything in this world is Jesus, and he is, as he has always been, right here. He is the answer.
What is your profession?
Now's the time that the talking's done. Are you ready to take the next step? The stress about the enemy, the stress about finances, the stress about sickness, the stress about disease, the stress of life in general, the struggle. No more stressing over the struggle of life. That stress is over. Now's the time. Now it is time. Now's the time to stand up. Now it's time to know what you carry in Christ. Now's the time. I'm talking to you. It's time to make a move. Now, things don't change till you change. Now it's time for you to say, I'm ready. For you to say, I'm ready to change. For you to say, I want better. For you to say, it's over. Now it's time for you to get turned up. It's time for you to invest in the kingdom of God with all your gifts and your talents. It's time to get aggressive. Don't just play the sidelines. It's time to get in. You're all in. Only you can do that. You, and you alone. I want you to get angry. I want you to get serious. I want you to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time. It's time for us as believers to stand up. I want you to say, I'm ready. I'm ready to take that step. I'm ready for more. I'm ready. This is what this is about. This is about being equipped and trained to walk in the things that Christ paid such a high price for us to walk in. This isn't an average conference. This isn't just come and hear what I have to say. I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to get you excited about what it is you carry. It's time for you to stand up. Things don't change until you change. And I'm coming to teach you and train you to be a force to be reckoned with in this world. It's time. The time is now. Will you stand up? Will you come? I will challenge you. I will challenge you and push you into the things that Christ has called us and commanded us all to walk in. Is he paid too high of a price for us to sit around and do nothing? So are you the one that's gonna sit there and talk about you want things to change? Or are you gonna be the one that's gonna say, I'm gonna be that change, and it starts with me, and it starts now. That's what we're bringing. We're bringing that to you. Come on, bring your Bibles, bring your pens, bring your paper, bring whatever it is you need. I'm gonna bring my best, and I'm asking that you challenge me and help me do what it is that God has called me to do, and that's to equip the saints. To equip the saints. This is me challenging you and you challenging me, and we coming together in the name of Jesus and uplift in the name of Jesus together so we can make a change. I want you to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for us to take back our community. It's time for us to make a move. The children of God are being called and raised up all around the globe. You had some questions. You wanted to know, can I heal the sick? Can I walk in the gifts? I will be answering questions. I'll be doing Q&A and preaching and teaching and showing you biblical truths. There's a difference between what I believe and what the word says.
What is your profession?
Got him! Got him!
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Welcome back. Definitely want to say welcome back, man. Today's another day that the Lord made, so we're gonna rejoice in it. You know, we're gonna do what God called us to do, and that's to be servants to each other, to love on each other. You know what I mean? This podcast right here, as you can tell, is called GodSon Podcast or GodSon Listening Party. Everything GodSon. We know that Christ paid a high price for us, man. And for us to walk around like he ain't do that, that's crazy. You heard? But yo, Lisa, man, what's up, man? What's going on with you, cousin?
What's good, man? What's good, Jay Meezy? Like you said, man, we back again. Man, I don't know how many shows we got under our belt, but
Glory to
it's been
God.
Oh, glory to God.
it's been an exciting month of October, an exciting month of September as well. We've been putting in the work, and tonight we got none other than another singer, very lovely, talented lady.
Shout out to Ariyana on the show with us today. Shout out to you, sis. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed to be on here. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, nah, word. Definitely want to say shout out to the chat as well, man. We seen a couple people already posting comments before the show got started, which I ain't even know you can do that. But yo, shout out to the chat, word, man. Appreciate y'all locking in with us. And, you know, like I always say, man, time is very valuable, and we don't want you to think that we undermine that. We understand that sometimes these podcasts go for 3 hours. I think one time even close to 4 hours, you heard? But people were still rocking with it, man, and I'm actually humbled that I get to be here to be able to provide, you know, something that you would be entertained by, right? Like at the most simplest form, man, we get to honor and worship the children of God, you know what I mean? Or honor the children of God and worship God in them, you know what I mean? So for y'all that might just get that confused. But yeah, man, definitely want to say shout out to the chat, man.
So I heard your elders say that, you know, come and challenge me, and I'm going to challenge you to walk in the gifts. So tonight I'm challenging the chat to let us know where you guys are watching from, where you guys are listening from, your city, your state, and we're gonna shout y'all out tonight. You feel me?
Yeah, it's crazy you said that. I was thinking that too, man. I was thinking that last night.
Man, we're gonna shout y'all out. If you're watching from Ohio, we're gonna shout out Ohio. If you're watching from Texas, we're gonna shout out Texas. But let us know where you guys are watching from, whether if it's YouTube or Facebook, and we're gonna shout y'all out tonight.
All right. So just put your state, your city, or whatever in the comments. You know what I mean, and we'll put it on the screen, give you a shout out. And you know, again, man, thank you for rocking with us. So what's up, man? What's going on, Ariyana? Where you from? Tell the people who you are, where you from, what's your special ability, all that.
Okay. So my name is Ariyana Marie. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised, and I am a singer-songwriter. Basically, about me is I just want to have a passion for music, and I feel like it's the gift that God has given me to use to minister to people in hopes that people will be inspired to grow closer in their relationship with God. As I'm striving to do myself. I never write from a place of I got this handled. I write from a place of this is things that I'm dealing with or I'm hoping to encourage myself with. But as I encourage myself, I'm hoping to encourage others alongside with me.
Word. Appreciate that. Hey, yo, shout out to Manchester, New Hampshire in the building. Shout out to Las Vegas in the building. We got, what is that, Floresville, Texas in the building. We got Lowell, Mass in the building. We got Cincinnati up in here. We got Charlestown. Yo, bro, listen, man. I'm so humbled right now, Alicia. Word. You know what I mean? So humbled right now.
Bro, that's the formula going forth.
Yeah, man. We definitely got to know where people at.
We're going to challenge the chat to let us know where they from.
Word, man. So you already know, man. Again, shout out to the chat, man. I'm humbled. You know. So Ariyana, so what was music for you like growing up? What got you into the music? What made you want to go in this direction?
So that's a good question.
Gotta.
Music is it's always been a part of me since I was little. My mom always talked about like they have videos of me when I was like 3 years old, 3 years old, singing. Barely can make out words, but I was singing along with my mom. My mom is also a singer, so music runs in my family. But there's always been a love and a passion for it. At first, I didn't actually think I was going to pursue music in the way that I've been pursuing it now. I didn't have the confidence in myself. I knew I loved to sing, but I didn't have the confidence in myself to think it would be beyond something than just serving in the church. Now I still serve in a church, but I also more in capacity outside of when I'm serving on Sundays. But it was what transitioned for me was my well, I found my voice when I was in college. I'm 26 now, so I found my voice when I was around 18, 19, when I was in college. It just, I guess it's like, it just came out of nowhere. I'm not really sure why, where I found like that was my sound. But that's when I started to find it. And then it wasn't until 2019 where I was like, okay, I'm going to take music seriously and I'm going to dedicate my music to God, who's the one that gave me my gift.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. It's interesting because before I made that decision, I used to write music when I was younger, like in middle school and a little in high school, but then I stopped because I didn't really think like, I don't think I'm that good at writing. So I just stopped. I didn't think I had the gifting in it. And then, so I didn't have anything to write for a long time. But after that time that I was like, okay, I'm going to take music seriously and dedicate it to God. That's when like songs just started flowing. And then I started to realize, okay, maybe I do have a gifting. And one, I just didn't have the confidence in it. And two, once I took that shift and realized where my focus should have been in the first place, that's what brought out that gift.
So was it difficult for you just pursuing music, you know, given that you said 2019 is when you started?
Mm-hmm.
How's that journey been so far? Because wasn't that like around COVID around there?
It was right before COVID.
Right
So
before.
my first song came out the summer of 2019. So I don't think it was difficult because definitely I would say it was perfect timing because before when I pondered on if I wanted to be a singer before, I didn't really have any connections as to where would I start, anyone to help me even just figure out the beginning process. But college is where I started making a few connections. So I had a friend, she actually sings R&B, but she also is a believer. And me and her got closer towards she was a year ahead of me, but me and her got closer towards my junior, senior year in college. And she was pursuing her music. And I asked one day, hey, can I come in the studio with you and just check it out? And she was always willing to like help me figure out how things work as far as how do you distribute your music? What should you think about when you're wanting to start getting into studio time? So she was really helpful for me in that time because that helped me see like, oh, it's a little bit easier than I thought. And then when it came to putting my first song together, my cousin actually, Dupre, I believe you had him on your show a few weeks
Shout
ago.
out to Dupre, super fire artist.
Yeah, he actually produced my first song. So I reached out to him because I knew he was starting out trying to get in production, and he was the only person I knew that could help. So I asked him, I was like, hey, I'm trying to make my first song. Would you help me? And he was like, of course, as family. He was like, so he helped me. So really like I would say it was perfect timing because God really gave me the connections and people to help me get started. And now that I've gotten started, I would say it's rewarding in a sense because I love it. It's fulfilling. I constantly get confirmations from God that this is a gifting He wants me to pursue. The hard part about it is it's not cheap to do all of this.
Hey, yo, and with that said, that was a good segue, right? Because I always seem to forget to put up the info at the beginning of the show. But the info's at the bottom of the screen for anybody who's watching and wants to go show support, go follow. And even her Cash App, she didn't ask us to do it, but we doing it anyway because, like she said, it take money to record these songs. It take physical keys to open up physical doors. So if God puts it on your heart and you just want to make her journey a little more easier, Cash App is at the bottom, you know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. And I don't do it for the money. Money helps, but I don't do it for the money.
Facts.
But I would say that's the hardest part because it's like, especially when I'm like, oh my gosh, God's giving me all these visions for the next stuff He wants me to work on, like the next project or a video to the project. And I'm someone that ponders on things a lot. So a lot of times people think I'm quiet, but in reality, I'm just always thinking about stuff.
You mad loud in your head.
Yeah. I'm always thinking about something. So a lot of times if you just see me just sitting there, and most likely I'm in my head, which is a blessing and a curse sometimes. But
hey, man, it's the closet. That's that closet right there, you know?
But that, I would say that what can be challenging because I'm like, man, I'll get excited, really want to work on this. And then it's like, I can't do it right now. Which also it speaks to maybe I need to focus on, is it God's timing at the moment? Because one thing I noticed with my first project, I didn't have the funds. Like it wouldn't have gotten out at the time it was supposed to get out if it wasn't for my mom. She's also recording.
Shout out the moms.
But she's also recording artists, and at that time I did not have time for studio time. What she did was split her time with me, and I didn't ask. She just said, "Hey, how your project is going?" And I told her, and she was like, if you need help with getting some studio time, I don't mind giving you some of my time. And then just honoring her time, making sure she got what she needed done first, because first and foremost, she paid for that time, and that was her project that she was working on that God gave her. But she would make sure that I can get a little bit of time to get stuff I was working on. So that really helped me get my project done, because then all I had to worry about was paying for more of the simple stuff as like distribution, getting CDs together, things like that. So that helped out a lot. So yes, I say that to say that God worked out that timing. He wanted it to be, because I originally wanted it out before it came out, but God was like, okay, this is the timing, and we're going to work it out for it to be out by that timing, and He did. So I'm also a believer right now, as I'm working on my next project, that He's working out the timing and it's going to get done and be put out when He wants it out.
And that's the way it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? To move by yourself, if you got the ability, it might go right, but to move with God is a lot better. You know what I mean? If He's the one that's opening these doors, you ain't got to worry about who can close them. You know what I mean? So shout out to you for just being mindful about God. Way too often people get into this type of industry and God kind of takes the back seat. You know what I mean? We start getting blinded by, the things that we want to do. Some people get blinded by the money, and so just to keep God in the forefront of what you're doing, super shout out to you for that.
Did you say super shout out?
Yeah, sometimes I make up words on the fly, man.
Super shout out. Okay.
You ain't heard nothing yet, Alicia, man. You just started rocking with me. I start making up weird words. Don't pay no mind to me. I'm not here. Leave me alone, yeah.
I got you. So it is the GodSon listening party. It's time for us to listen to some music. The first song, Ariyana, after we met, I want to say was Called to Be. I don't know if you had put out the video then or not, but I think that is your first video that I actually had a chance to watch and see. So I think it's only fitting that we kick the show off with Called to Be. Also, shout out to, man, the chat going crazy right now. Shout out to Wayne, aka Dyson from Australia, that's tapping in with us. Shout out to, I think I saw Bernard, I saw Mama D.
You said
Lady
you said Australia tapping in too?
Australia tapping in. Yes,
Come
sir.
on, man. Glory to God, man. Look at God. Look at God.
I saw Lady D Music, which is your mom. I saw her tap in a little earlier too. So yeah.
Yeah, word, man. Fire, fire. So this joint right here called Call to Be. And we gonna get into this. You already know we gonna play the song, come back. She gonna tell you the inspiration, the process, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go. You already know what time it is. I need you to share the live. Go show that support. Shout out to her, Ariyana Marie, right here in the building with us today. Let's go, man.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Some see me as the quiet girl, others see me as the church girl. The world view me as the black girl, but there's more to me. I'm not trying to be the it girl. I'm covered in diamonds and pearls. Oh, I mean to stand inside this world. Just wanna be me. 'Cause that's who I'm called to be. To do much greater things. God's got a plan, you see, and it's perfect for me. You can label me nothing, but I'm his everything. God sees the real me, who I'm called to be. I just wanna be me, just wanna be me.
Let's go, let's go.
Just gotta be me, who I'm called to be. I just wanna be me, just wanna be me.
Shout out to Ariyana Marie. Go show that support. Go follow my page. Let's go, man.
All glory to
Don't
God.
gotta be the perfect size, even have the perfect life, still perfect in God's eyes. Know He loves me. Sometimes I have some ups and downs, but I can flip upside down. God gonna turn it all around. He's always there for me, yeah. 'Cause that's who I'm called to be. To do much greater things. God's got a plan, you see, it's perfect for me. You can label me nothing, nothing. It's everything on it. God sees the real me. Who I'm called to be. Just wanna be me. I just wanna be me.
Let's go, let's go. That girl can sing.
All glory to God.
Just wanna be me. Just wanna be me. Just wanna be me. And leave me. Just wanna be me. And I'm called to be. Well, God gave me my identity. He set me apart so I could do great things. God gave me my identity. He set me apart so I could do great things. God gave me my identity. He made me who I was supposed to be. He set me apart. He set me apart.
Glory to God. He sets us apart. He puts his seal on us. Glory to God. Thank God for Jesus Christ. Let's go.
I'm called to be, do much greater things. God's got a plan, you see, and it's perfect for me. You can label me nothing, nothing, but I'm his everything. God sees the real me, who I'm called to be.
Definitely like that joint right there, man. That one was smooth. I noticed, man, you got like a worship type of vibe in your music, which is super fire. I like that. I like that. What's up, Licio?
Man, the girl got talent. Oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah, the chat was loving her. The chat was definitely loving her.
Just oh my goodness, just God sent. You feel me? I love everything that you put out, whether if it's your song or you featuring on somebody else's song. I'm glad and I'm honored to be connected to someone like you. Real talk.
So what's the process for you when you go to make songs? Like, are you looking for the beat first? Are you coming up with the concept first?
So, everything really is like it lives in my head. So I'm not I don't look for beats on YouTube. Those are originals. Um, I hear I hear the melody, and then typically that's kind of where I start from. Um, Hearing the melody, sometimes I feel like God will give me it varies, but a lot of times I might hear the melody and maybe a couple words, and then um, that's when I start to play with it a little bit to see, okay, where is God leading me with this? Or sometimes it may just be a message that God was giving me, and then it may have turned into a song, and then it will sit there for a little bit until it's ready to be completed. There's some songs that so in the project that I released, Unapologetic, um, some of those songs I released it in 2021. Yes, it's 2022 now. I released it in 2021, but some of those songs I started writing in 2019. They probably didn't get finished till 2020. I'm a firm believer of like if it's not finished, I'm not gonna like press on it unless me personally just wasn't focusing on it. But I'm not gonna press on it unless God gives me what I'm supposed to get for it. So I would leave it alone, no matter how long it would be. If God hasn't given me anything, because I don't want to force it and then it becomes something that's just strictly out of my own strength, and then it doesn't become what God wanted to be. But I pretty much I'm more melody. Um, I hear melodies all the time. So sometimes it may start off with I hear the melody and I put it in a voice recording. I hear the melody, I might try to pick out what I hear on the piano. And then once I get the song finished, I try my best. I can play the piano a little bit to the extent of I can hear the chords I'm playing and try to pick it on the piano, but not to the extent where if someone asks me, "Hey, come up here and play and sing something," oh no,
Not happening. Not happening. You went too
not
far.
right now, not right now. One day we working there, but we not there yet. But
Right.
I at least try to do enough so when I'm giving it to someone to produce and get it together, that they kind of hear what I'm hearing, so they can be more in the direction that I'm wanting. Um, I would say I have now been stepping a little bit more into production. So this next project that's coming out, you're gonna actually see my hand in a lot of production. Actually, Faith Walk, I produced that, um, and then shout out to Scott Sims. He also co-produced on that as well. But that is mostly all of my work. So that was a big risk for me. First time putting something out that I put together for the most part, and that was exciting, but also a little stressful because I was scared about it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you too. Is there like a specific type of sound you go for, or are you open to trying, new sounds?
I am very open. I do lean more. I would say I am a mix. I do lean more to a little bit R&B and pop. Um, but I still have a heavy gospel background. I grew up in church, so mostly sung gospel. So I would like to. Sometimes you are gonna get something maybe straight R&B from me. Sometimes you're gonna get a little pop feel. Sometimes you're gonna get a mixture. Sometimes you're gonna get something that's like this is gospel, because that's just who I am, and I don't think I should stick to one thing, especially if that's something God's given me. But I definitely say I'm a mixture.
So since you're challenging yourself on the producer side or the production side, um, are you going to be rapping in this project?
You know, you had to ask the question. You gonna be rapping?
Um, So I won't totally count it out because when I released Faith Walk, I did a little rapping on there. And at first, when I originally wrote that song, I was not gonna do that part. I wanted Reborn to do it, and then he was like, "Nah, sis, I think you should do it." I was like, "Ah, okay." But in AFTL, that's the fam. They always be joking like, "You gonna rap one of these days?" So they was like super excited that I came out with just that little bit. But I will not say concrete that I will rap. But if it comes out because that's what I was led to do, then it comes out. But I'm not gonna claim, definitely not gonna claim right now that I'm a rapper and have rapping skills.
I mean, it's good that you're willing to try it out, though. You know, that you're open to trying it out and all that. I think as an artist, one of the dopest qualities that we can have is that we don't put ourselves in boxes, so that you can allow yourself to stretch your arms, spread your wings. You don't know how far you can go with it unless you're willing to, jump off that roof and see that you can fly. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to you for being open, trying out new things. Definitely want to say shout out to you too for your vocals, man. I think your vocals sound so pure. I think I've seen a couple people in the chat talking about your vocals, and I'm in complete agreement. Somebody said something about getting you on a track. I don't know, but it might be a way to, you know what I mean? Some type of networking going on, all that. But I definitely want to get into the song that you say you first produced. Or the only one you produced, or is the first one?
It's the first one. It's the only one that's released right now that I produced.
Okay, and that's Faith Walk with Reborn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Reborn, man. We gotta get him on here, man. I know we about to have his wife.
Yeah, right? I think we're gonna have Gigi. I want to say next Saturday. So you guys got a week. Y'all got a week to get ready and prepared.
Let's go, man. Shout out to Gigi coming on the show. Shout out to Reborn, her husband, man. And God bless your family. God bless your marriage. And you already know, man. Let's get into this Faith Walk. Let's see what she talking about. So, what, the first one you produced?
The first one.
Yeah.
Man, listen, let's get it. Let's go. Share the love. Go show that support, y'all.
AFTL.
See, I'm gon' faith walk, and I'm gon' faith talk. Carry my cross with me, perfect my crosswalk. See, I'm gon' faith walk, and I'm gon' faith talk. Carry my cross with me, perfect my crosswalk. See, I've been going through a lot of things lately, and I'm in need of a change. And I don't know when this change is gonna happen, but I'ma walk by faith. Cause my God is a way maker, so I'm gonna believe that all things are working for my good, cause that's what his word says to me.
I know
so
you gonna
I choose
take
to
this.
believe there's a miracle and a purpose for me, yeah. And I choose to believe there is more in store, no matter what's surrounding me. I'll keep believing and keep seeking his word every day, that's the key, yeah. Please believe me, yeah, when you hear me, yeah. See, it's the favor leading me, yeah. See, I'm gon' faith walk, and I'm gon' faith talk. Carry my cross daily, perfect my crosswalk. See, I'm gon' faith walk, and I'm gon' faith talk. Carry my cross daily, perfect my crosswalk. See, I'm gonna faith walk. See, I'm gonna faith talk.
Let's go.
I let my faith walk, I let my faith speak. Not by sight, I be walking in what I can't see. I put the work in, I'm going OT. I don't exalt myself, I keep it low key. I don't got time to watch the news cause they be talking crazy. I'd rather put my faith in Jesus, he's the one that saved me. I'm trying to live abundant life, I ain't just trying to make it. If it's up, then it's up, I don't just want the basics. I was baptized in the water, resurrected in the Father. If it ain't about the kingdom, I'm not interested. I'm trying to give him interest back on what he invested. Every L I ever took, I took it as a lesson. I stopped complaining and I learned how to count my blessings. So I bless him, use the word as my weapon. I'm perfected, and it's all because I got faith.
Walk, and I'm gon' faith talk. Carry my cross daily, perfect my crosswalk. See, I'm gon' faith walk, and I'm gon' faith talk.
daily. Perfect your crosswalk. You need a faith walk. You need a faith
You know you need a faith walk.
daily. Perfect your crosswalk.
See, I can faith walk, and I can faith
Gotta walk in faith,
Carry
you
my
heard?
cross daily, perfect my crosswalk. See, I can faith walk, and I can faith talk. Carry my cross daily, perfect my crosswalk. See, I go, faith walk. Faith talk, faith walk, a faith talk.
I definitely like that dancing at the end. That dancing at the end was fire though, man. Definitely shout out to you for that. Bro. So, who came up with the concept for that?
That was me.
Okay. So what's your process when you go record it? Because I recorded my son the other day, and he likes to lay his verses down in like tracks. Is that the same thing with singing, or is it just like a one take?
Oh, that was definitely not a one take.
I don't know. Some people got that.
I'm not that person. Because with me, like I said, I be in my head a lot, so sometimes I have to like force myself out of my head and make sure like if there's something I want to redo, it's either because I'm like overthinking it or I think it really needs to be delivered better. But kind of my process in the studio, it varies song to song, but a lot of times I pretty much try to like do it on my own pre-recording at home. And that way, one, also not wasting studio time. So that way I can kind of get my ideas that I have out or what I think I'm hearing for it to be like. That way when I go in, already have direction of the sound and what I'm going for. And then I record a lot with Scott Sims at his studio. So he's very good at like adding things and putting in a lot of creative ideas, which is one of the reasons I love working with him. So he's definitely very helpful in that way. Yeah, shout out to him. He's definitely very helpful in that way, especially in moments where I don't hear something that can, like with the chorus, maybe if I don't hear something that bring it out more, then he's very like helpful in those moments. But it varies. I definitely try to do, I'm someone that likes to do a lot of background vocals and harmonies. So depending on how many harmonies I hear for the song, I may try to do those first in the chorus at least. That way, when I come in with my lead vocals, I feel complete and I feel like I'm able to really go for it more. Versus, I feel like if it's not complete, then I kind of get in my head. I'm like, I feel like it's missing something, and maybe I try to overcompensate. So that's kind of what I do. For the most part, I try to do the background vocals first and then try to go in with the lead. But it does vary song to song depending on how complex I'm hearing stuff.
So when you first started like taking the music serious and all that, was it what you expected, given that you come up in a family that does music? Was it something that you was already expecting, this is how I'm gonna go and record my songs, or did you learn as you go?
I learned as I went. My first studio session is totally different from what my studio sessions look now. My first studio session, I just went in and recorded everything on the spot. Since then, I learned like we're gonna try to figure out things I hear at home and record that at home first. That way, I can listen to it and ponder on it. Because, like I said, I overthink, so it allows me to go through that process of thinking that I go through. That way, it eliminates me, I guess, wasting time in a sense. But I never, like I said, I never really knew how to start anything when it came to studio time or anything. Even with coming from a musical family, my mom, she, like I said, she's a recording artist now too. But before she had a group, and I never got to experience hearing if they went to a studio or anything, because when she was in this group, it was one before I was born, and then they reconnected again when I was in high school and transitioning to college. And during that time, they didn't record any music studio wise. I just knew when it came to music, I just mostly knew about preparation, and when it came to a standpoint of ministering that level, that's what I got from my mom, and from other uh, family members that ministered through music around me. The preparation and the part when it came to being in the church, and how you delivered your song and how you prepared, and the mindset you should be out of ministering. And I always got that from my mom, because my mom always taught me the importance of it. And why we do it never came from a point of, no, this just sounds good. She always came from, no, this is a place of worship. And her and my dad always tried to instill that in me, which is why I always growing up knowing this is a gift that I had from God. um, and why I still have that mindset of like, I want to use my gift for God, and what's the mindset I should come from when it comes to ministering.
Mm. So if you had to say, what would you say is a pro and a con about making music for you?
um, a pro and a con of just making music, period.
Yeah, I mean, like, going into the studio. Because for me, being an artist, sometimes I can hear a song a certain kind of way in my mind, but then to get it that way on a record is crazy for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes. So, is it the same for you?
Yeah, definitely that is similar. Um, being okay with that, it's not going to be exactly how you hear in your mind, because sometimes your mind can kind of play with you a little bit of like, this is exactly how it's going to sound, and then
Yeah,
you bring
yeah.
it out and it's like, okay, it's not
Nah,
exactly it's
nah,
not
that thing
exactly
it sound better in my mind. You know what I mean? In my mind, it sounded perfect.
doesn't mean it's bad. It's just it's not quite what I heard. I was having a party in my mind with the song in a different way, and that's not how it came out. But it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
For me being a rapper, man, when I'm writing songs, sometimes I'll write a song and I'll be in a certain kind of like pocket, and it requires like a singing voice. And in my mind, I'm like the best singer in the world. I can hear every note. But man, when it comes time to lay it down, I'm like calling every singer I know, like, yo, I just need you over here real quick. 2 lines, please. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, definitely. What's up, Licio?
So, Ariana, we've been trying to book this listening party since the award show. What made you tell me yes about being on tonight?
um, I would say mostly it has to do with your character. I know, one, you're known to be a great supporter, so I like to try my best to
Shout out to Licio, my co-host, Kingdom supporter. Whoop! Let's go.
definitely, definitely a kingdom supporter. So I always try to make sure I try my best to get back to you, because I know in the time period you were trying to contact me, I was actually taking a break from my phone. So I was like, oh wait, I forgot to call these
That's
people
how you
back.
know it was God plan, because look, you got a hold of him, man.
But first, I was like I said, it would speak to your character. I would say you always like you're a supporter, and then typically you're always trying to connect people to opportunities to get their message out as ministers of music. And most of the connections you've given me, I've never had an ill feeling about like, I don't know if this is this is the route. So it was more so I trust the character of you, and I felt like it was an opportunity to go ahead and take.
Yeah, someone in the comments, Ralphie says, church night is most deaf on go tonight. I'm glad he said that, because sometimes we do last 3, maybe 4 hours sometimes doing this. But I definitely just want to say that this is another form of fellowship. So this is like being at church, man. We're esteeming each other greater than ourselves, and I think that character is a lot way more important than head knowledge or anything that you can gain head knowledge, right? First Corinthians chapter 13 talks about if you understand all the mysteries and prophecies, but you don't have love, then it means nothing. Love is an action word. It's something that requires an action. You know, so I want y'all to be encouraged that while you locked in with us, this is another form of worship. I know there be a lot of new believers that come, or people that are not believers yet, that come onto this platform, and I just want them to know that this is another form of worship. Church is a building. I mean, a church is not a building. Church is the people, the gathering of the people. So we're gathering right now. So this is like being in church. So word. Shout out to you for that comment, though,
Ariyana, man, I appreciate that. I think it's time for another video, if you may say so. Speaking of connections, after I don't know how long I have been knowing this young lady that we're going to play next, but you're also in the video along with another singer. So there's 3 singers in one video, and I knew some of the story because I'm the one that reached out. But to see it all come together and still play the background piece was just something phenomenal. You, Glory, and Melanie came alongside each other with this video called My Help. Man, it was a beautiful job done. Did it take you a long time to get your piece, get your vocals and everything ready for that video?
I don't think it took too long. Knowing me, I definitely could have took a bunch of takes. Luckily, I didn't. But it didn't take too long. I think the only long process was just because we're all in different time zones. Because I believe Melanie was in a totally different time zone than us. So
totally different country, yeah.
Yeah, so just trying to get that together, and then I think originally there was a 4th person, and then she was unable to do it. So just getting that initial contact together of what's the game plan, that first meeting, and then also figuring out from then, okay, when do we need to have this done? Who's gonna edit it? Who's gonna get the music together? It was just that. So that would probably be the longest part. But as far as recording, it didn't take too long. As I look back on it, I probably could have took a little bit more time on it, but I think we all were kind of just rushing to try to get it together. But it worked out. So.
Sometimes it be like that, man. You'd be surprised the things that we don't put too much effort in. It just like naturally flows like that, be coming out the best. You be looking back and you're like, yo, that's like some of my best work right there. You know what I mean? So this joint right here is called My Help. Who is the featuring?
So it's Glory, Ariyana Marie, and Melanie Williams.
Okay, all right. So you already know this joint right here, My Help. Let's go.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. He said, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord which keepeth thee, He will not slumber nor sleep.
Oh, the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. No, the sun shall not smite thee by day,
not the moon by night. He shall preserve thy soul, even forevermore. My help, my help, my help. All of my help cometh from the Lord. to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth.
Glory to God.
He said, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord which keepeth thee, He will not slumber nor sleep. Oh, the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. Sun shall not smite thee, sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. He shall preserve thy soul, even forevermore. Even forevermore. My help, Lord Jesus, my help. All of my help cometh from the Lord, my help. Call on the name of Jesus, and I know He will answer. My help, all of my help cometh from the Lord, my help, my all of my help cometh from the Lord. Lift up mine eyes unto the hills, my strength. All of my help cometh from the Lord. Lift up mine eyes unto the hills, my strength. All of my help cometh from the
I like that. That's definitely a joyful sound, you know, and I don't mean that in a cliche way. I just feel like peace, you know what I mean? Joy is different than happiness for people that are not familiar with that. Happiness is something that's temporary. Today you're happy, or this moment you're happy, and then, you know, but joy is something that sustains you, something that keeps you stable, you know. And listening to that song, that's just what it, you know, that's the vibe that it gave me. It was like, you know, that joy, that stable kind of feel, man. So I like it, definitely like it.
I'm glad I played a small part in that video.
Oh yeah, you have to elaborate on that, yo.
So I met Gloria Shalom, who was the young lady in the white. I met her through a group chat, and I think that was in 2019, I think. And I took a break from the KS radio show to get, you know, things better prepared for 2020. So when 2020 January started, I found out that Gloria had a business called shalomsheet.com. And I asked her, you know, like she sent me her music, but like I was already listening to the music. But I found out that she has a business called Shalom Sheet, and it's for women apparel of every age, every size, everything. So I asked her if I could, you know, if I could play her commercial or, you know, make announcements on the show of her business. And from there, our relationship just blossomed. And Gloria reached out to me. She said, "Hey, bro, I really love Ariana's voice. I would like to do a song with her. She kind of told me about the video before, and she said like, yeah, I got somebody else that might be on the song or whatever. And it took like months for them to get it, all edited and everything. I think Glory actually edited the video, because I remember talking to her like every other day to make sure like everything was going according to her plan, and it did. So I'm glad that Glory reached out for Ariyana. Ariyana said that she was available, and I don't even know how Melanie came into the picture. So I'm trying to get Glory on the show, y'all, to talk about her music. So just be patient with me.
Yes, I definitely want to give a round of applause for just people coming together. We say this all the time on the show. You'll know them by the love that they have for each other. So the fact that, being that, KS radio show, man, he's a kingdom servant. It's in the name, being that he can play a part to bridge these gaps together and them come together and do a song like that. Man, that's really what it's about, man, coming together, man. I think the world sets a standard and says we can only be on a song together if you meet this standard or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But in the kingdom, man, it's different, because the only standard is Christ, and so when I do music, every time I do music, it has to be Christ-centered. And I don't care who it is that I'm doing the song with, because that's where the connection is. That's how we coming together. So, again, man, shout out to people coming together in the body. Way too often we see division going on, and I rebuke it right now in the name of Jesus, man. Like, the body is not divided. We all should be united, however it be. Shout out to the Christian businesses out there. Shout out to the Christian churches out there, the evangelists, the youth pastors, people that are playing their part to bring people together, man. And if you don't even got to be in the church building to do that. Just in your own family, bring people together. You see that your mom's not getting along with your aunt, do your best to be that gap, that bridge that gap or something, man, because that's really what it's about, man.
So while we're giving shout outs, I want to give a shout out to my church, New Beginnings Church of Living God. They are currently having their revival night Thursday until Sunday. And I think that's the 13th through the 16th at 6 p.m. So tomorrow we got a huge tent in Avondale across the street from our church. It fits about 100 people. So if you guys are not listening tonight and you need something to do tomorrow or what have you, definitely go out 3494 Reading Road and just look for the giant tent across the street. You can't miss it. It's big, it's white. Come out, be revived, you guys. And we're going to be tailgating on Sunday at 1 p.m. If you guys need any more information, go to www.nbcotlg.org. We got all kind of events coming up for the month of October, and just gearing up for November. But I just want to name drop. That's all.
Shout out to the churches getting it in, putting in that work. So I don't know, cause of commercial break. What we looking like?
For sure. Let's thank some of our sponsors.
Yeah, let me see. What commercial should I go into? Who didn't we play? I think we didn't play Redeem Culture, was it? What's that? All right, cool. So commercial break, man. We'll be right back. You already know. God bless.
I have a past. I've made mistakes. But even though I'm not perfect, I refuse to be defined by my failures. I'm proud of the changes that I made and the things that I've overcome. And if you knew what I had to go through in order to transform into the person that I am today, you wouldn't try to discard me. You would celebrate me. Besides, no one can cancel whom God has redeemed. What about you? Redeem Culture. It's not just a brand, it's a movement.
definitely need those commercial breaks, man.
Hey man, we all over the place, man. We got the homie Wayne from Australia, Redeem Culture, and DJ Roberts and his wife is from North Carolina. Ariana from Cincinnati. We got people chiming in from Texas. We all over the place.
We
I
all
love it,
over the
man.
place, man. We all over the place, and thank God for technology, right? So I know a lot of times people would talk about technology in an evil way, and it could be evil, you know what I'm saying? But we could also take it and use it for good. So shout out to technology, connecting everybody around the globe. You know? But like I was saying, man, we definitely need those commercials, and this is definitely an extension to anybody watching. If your church is doing things and y'all got commercials, y'all got flyers, whatever it is that you're doing, if you got a business, you know, whatever it is you're doing that got Jesus in the middle of it, send it over here. We'll play it. We want to promote. We want to come alongside of you. We want to help you do what God has called you to do. So you heard?
So we've played My Help, Called to Be, and Faith Walk. I think we got another video. I want to say it's called Walls, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was your second or third music video that you released?
That was my third.
Okay, right. What is it called? Walls?
It's called Walls. While he's looking for the video, tell us, what was the inspiration behind writing this track and what made you want to do a music video to it?
Mm. So Walls for me was kind of the first song where I was trying to tap in a little bit more of like um, a vulnerable side for me of what I deal with. So it talks a lot about how like I'm reaching out to God saying how there's just a lot of things that I'm dealing with and out of my own strength, I can't do it. And so I'm asking the Lord to help me get through it because I don't know how. And it's still a journey I'm going through with the Lord. And specifically, like for me, one of those walls is sometimes I deal with a little social anxiety. So when it comes to like when I said earlier, like people think I'm quiet. I'm not. I'm actually an extrovert, but people assume I'm an introvert because they think I'm quiet. But in reality, sometimes if I'm in settings um, with a lot of people and I may not know many people, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I really want to meet these people. But then in my mind, I'm also like, okay, how do I start the conversation? All right, how do I overthinking simple stuff, getting in my head and it's something I've been dealing with for years now, and I just asked the Lord because also it can hinder me when it comes to ministry. Because one, I don't want people to think I'm coming from a place of I'm standoffish or they think I'm not approachable. I hope I don't give out that vibe, but sometimes things can be perceived differently. And so it can hinder me in ministry purposes because maybe God is calling me to go speak to someone, and then I'm in my head talking myself out of it because I'm nervous. So that would be one of my walls. And in the video, it kind of shows different walls. Like it's really talking about those hidden walls. There are also like more public walls that people may have, more public obstacles. So those walls could be more public obstacles that you can clearly get through. Maybe your finances. Finances is a big thing for a lot of people. Needing what you need to pay bills, to live. But sometimes the biggest walls we have are the ones that people can't see, that live inside of us, that we really need God to help us get through, because those are the ones that may hinder us from growing. So that's what the song is talking about. Like, Lord, there's these walls that I have honestly tried to get over these walls, but ultimately it comes down to, Lord, I need you to help me get through the walls. And the reason I did a video for it is because I thought it was a message needed. And a lot of times, actually, I don't just do videos to do videos. I really think through my concepts of my videos. I hope they have a message. I really don't like videos that are just like nice visuals. There's nothing against that for people that do that. But in my idea, I want it to have a purpose. A lot of things that I do, I wanted to have a purpose when I'm putting projects together, just how they're ordered, how it's put together. I want it to fit the purpose of what the project is. When it comes to my videos, I want it to fit the purpose of what the song is talking about. So walls showcase the song is the video you're going to see is going to showcase me just trying to break down those walls. And that's what the song is about, breaking down walls, but you needing God to help you break down those walls. You can't do it yourself.
Would you say for you, music is like another way that you break down walls, maybe in the communication? Because I know you talked a lot about, wanting to do evangelism in your mind, but then at the same time, so do you find like music is kind of like like a cheat code?
Most definitely. We are all called to evangelize, but some people naturally have that gifting. I personally do not have naturally have that gifting. I have been put in settings where I had to evangelize and I did it. But I would say, which is why I feel like definitely music is my gifting. That is the way I feel like I can reach people the most with what God may have tasked me to give the message out to people. That doesn't mean I should not speak, and that doesn't mean there shouldn't be teaching behind of it, because we all have to do those things to an extent. Sometimes we have to do more than just sit up there and perform a song.
But I definitely get what you're saying though, because there's some people who are naturally people, right? Like they can go into a room and flip. Like my elder's like that. He'll walk into a restaurant, find out it's somebody's birthday in the restaurant. He'll stand up on the table, get everybody's attention, and next thing you know, it's free cake and drinks for everybody and all that. So he's that type of person, and I love that he does that. But I'm not sure I'm that type of person. Like I don't know if I'll get up and do that. But I definitely agree with him doing that. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. But one way that I know that I could do that is through my music. And that's why I asked the question, because for me, music has always been like a diary, right? It's been a way that I've been able to communicate my feelings without necessarily having to talk to somebody about it. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times my music is where you'll probably find me being the most transparent about what's truly in my heart. Because music for me is that outlet, that bridge that allows me to communicate to people, when in other settings I might not be as comfortable, because there's been many of those for me as well. So super dope explanation. I'm interested in hearing what this song is about. This right here is called Walls. You heard how she broke it down. Listen to the track and find out if there's any walls in your life that you might have to confront and find ways around. You know what I mean? So let's go.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go, shit it live.
I'm surrounded by walls now, and I'm currently building a fence around my heart.
I like this.
Can you tear these walls down? Can you peel away the pain in the scars? Well, if you had the key, I'll give you everything. Just agree to help me sort through the shame.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Left to me, I'll just run and leave. But something about you says it's okay to say. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how to bring them down.
This right here is fire.
Tried and I can't seem to find a melody to do it. So let's on the trumpets loud, march around, bring Jericho down. Please help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how. Ooh. I tried and I tried a million times.
pay attention.
Hard to see why you be leaving me. So keep showing me until I know you're not my enemy, but I'm for enemy. So I'll trust you to lead me through this battle of Jericho. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how to break them all.
It's right here, too fire.
I tried and I can't seem to find a melody to do it.
All glory to God.
Trumpets loud, march around, bring Jericho down. Please help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how. See, I'm scared to get over it, 'cause I'll miss the comfort. And I try not to think about it, but it's time to do better. See, I gotta do better, and I wanna do better. God, help me do better. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know.
God, it's right here, so fire. I'm trying to tell you, way too much fire in the kingdom. Way too much substance in the kingdom.
All glory to God.
Man.
All glory to God. We only do this for the king, you know what I'm saying?
Man, the whole visual, man, you like a natural on the camera, by the way. I just gotta tell you that. But the visual of that, and just thinking about how the concept of that song and how you was relating it to these walls, and I could relate to that, you know, as well. I think it's super fire, man. I love the seriousness and the way you was delivering, you know, what do they call that? The performance or something? Whatever that was, man, super fire, word, super fire.
So as I'm listening, Ari, I've never told you this, but I don't think there's anybody in the kingdom that sounds almost like Whitney Houston. But that's the vibe that I got from you. And I don't know if it's the strong vocals or the certain note that you hit, but just in that song, that's what put me in the mind frame of Whitney Houston.
That's a fire comparison.
You give me too much. You give me too much credit.
You know, not for nothing. I'm thinking like Mary J. Blige. I'm thinking like Keisha Cole. You know, especially Keisha Cole with that one right there. And for me, she had that Keisha Cole vibe. And not to compare you to anybody, because I think you're your own artist, but just to relate it to a sound that's familiar, that passion. You know what I mean? Like there was something about when Keisha Cole came out that drew people into her, and I believe it was that realness, that passion, you know, behind the music. And that's exactly what I heard in that, you know, and then considering the whole concept behind it, so fire, man. Like a lot of substance in that. That's definitely gonna minister to somebody. That's a fact. I think I seen somebody say this song made me want to go hug my loved ones, man. So that's ministering to people, man. That's the word.
So,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, to break down the song for us. Tell us the mind when you was recording that, because it seems like a very passionate song. Was that like, do you have to do a lot of takes because you had to slow it down for a second and take a breather? I don't know.
Honestly, I think that was one of probably my fastest recordings. Not in a sense of like, oh, I got this, but maybe because of, like I initially said, it was one of those first songs where I try to tap in a little bit more vulnerable side of me, tapping in what I actually am dealing with. And I think I was really able to feel it more, and that's still my favorite song so far right now that I've come
I
out
was
with.
about to ask you that too. That's looked like it could be one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. And then also, I just kind of want to speak a little bit to the reference of Jericho's walls. So I reference um, the walls of Jericho, and they're using the trumpets. And one important thing to come from that story is it wasn't the focus on the fact that the walls came down. It's more on the focus of how they came down and why. They came down because one, it was God's power that brought it down. So that in that point, that's what we focus on the most. It was God's power. It wasn't what they did. It was like they didn't do that on their own strength. It was their obedience and their faith. And that's why that is referenced in the song, because the song is talking about, I'm reaching out to God like, can you help me tear these walls down? I don't know how. They didn't know how to tear those walls down. And obviously you saw that if we was today, probably if we was going around and to some trying to break down some wall, we not gonna use trumpets and we're not gonna march around. That
we
just
just
seem
seen what
like
happened.
gonna happen.
We just seen what happened with the Capitol building, right? They wasn't using trumpets.
They was not. But that doesn't mean that God can't do that again. But the key word is God. And so the song is basically referencing that at the end of the day, I need God to get through this. I can't do it. The Israelites and Joshua couldn't do it without God. God is who gave them the instructions, and he wanted to see if they were going to be obedient and do what he said. And because of their faith and because of their obedience, the walls came down. Didn't come down because they were very loud with their trumpets. That's not why it came down.
Let's go. That, man, I love that perspective. You know what I mean? Because like again, man, a lot of times we seem to put God in the back burner. We look at our own abilities and what we can do, and we see that first, not realizing that it was God's power that brought those walls down. It wasn't them blowing trumpets and singing songs. You know what I mean? So that's super fire.
So Missy, what we got next? I know we got.
So I had this song lined up. I got the Dupre joint lined up because she said that's her cousin, and we had him on the show. So shout out to Dupre. You know what I mean? Definitely, I was gonna play that one first. The minute she said that was her cousin, because I like Dupre. Dupre is a dope artist. So
fire, bro.
So we'll play this, and then we'll come back, and then you tell us how this came about.
So is this the Chainbreaker track?
Yeah.
Okay, so so for the audience, for those who are listening, who are tapped in with us tonight, this is Dupre, Duprae, with his track called Chainbreaker, and it's featuring Ariyana Marie, who's our guest tonight. So definitely enjoy this track. And again, you guys see her name, her information at the bottom of the screen. Tap in with the sis. Show some support. She needed at least 10 more followers on her Instagram tonight, and I know we got at least 10 people watching. Follow her while we play this Chainbreaker track. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go. Shout out to Dupre. Ariyana Marie in the building. Go follow, go show that support, you heard?
I know you're gonna dig this.
None for superstars in the building.
On my knees, this the end or the enemy. Need a miracle, ayy, I'm so blind, so you got it out the mud. Now I see you the lion and the lamb. I've been lying through my teeth. Lord forgive me in my sins, I'm dying, trying to live, looking for some hope. Try to find it in my friends and in the streets. Looking for it in the highs, in the lows, where I peaked. I've been going through the motions, I don't know how this going in. Trying to follow the waves, just let me deep in the ocean. See the sinker, I'm going swim or walk through like a Moses. You give hope to the hopeless, I need you in my soul is. I give you life, without you ain't no life at all. Save me from myself, I won't survive the fall. But if you catch me, then I know you got a purpose. On the cross, did you say that I was worth it? On the fence, I gotta decide.
I know you're gonna dig this.
On this side, I gotta get it right.
cost you nothing.
I done made mistakes that done let the heart break, ayy. In my dark nights, question if I'm two-faced, ayy. Down in my heart, I know that I need a God in my life that could take the pain away, ayy. Lord, you kept me when I should've lost my mind. In your hands, you hold the universe in time. The devil just wanna remind me of past chains or lost chains. I'd only be sorry if I look behind. I know it is broke, and I heard you say broken things that make him whole again. Well, here's my life, let them open. You're a sister who's boasting. I'm coming to you in the low end. I was living life coasting. They see what I was engulfed in. Ooh, I'm on the ropes. Jesus, you the only one to save my soul. And if you kept me, then I know you got a purpose. On the cross, you knew that I wasn't perfect. On the fence, I gotta decide. Gotta get it right on this time.
Let's go.
But would you be there for me when I mess up?
He's always gonna be there. He said he never leave you, forsake you, you heard? Shout out to Jesus.
All glory to God.
On the fence, I gotta decide who I'm finna live on this side. I gotta get it right on this time. But would you be there for me when I mess up? I believe you'll be for me when I mess up. Mess up.
Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all for that track, man. I already heard that. I think we had that on the when Dupre was on, right?
We did.
I love that song, man. I love that song. Shout out to y'all. I didn't even know it was you. I didn't even know it was you on that track, man. So, word. So Dupre's your cousin. So y'all always doing music together, or it's just like, you my cousin, so I'm gonna fall back. What is it?
No, I mean, well, we have actually worked on some stuff together. Like there's my next project. He's going to be on that as well. But we both kind of started working on music as Christian artists around the same time. He just took a long time to release stuff, which we got on him about. But yeah, we work on music together, and also we're both in the same group, Active for the Lord. So we pretty much minister together at a lot of events.
That's fire. That's fire. My bad. I meant to hit the applause because I think that's dope. You know, that y'all ministering together, not only just at the church or whatnot, even through the music now. So, what can we expect things coming from y'all in the future? Maybe like an album strictly you and him.
I'm not sure. I won't say
That'll
that
be
it won't
dope
be
though.
out the cards, but
Yeah, nah,
you
that'll be
definitely
dope.
see it.
That'll be dope. I don't know, Lisa. What you think? A joint,
It
both of them?
would be dope. Not only that, but because your mom does music too. Yeah, I'm working on the details. Don't count me out.
No, Lisa's
We're
the
gonna get the
Christian
whole
ninja.
family on the show. Don't
Hey, yo,
pay S. I'm about it.
Lisa's the Christian ninja. You know what I mean? He got the sword of the spirit. You know what I mean? He got the boots of peace.
So yeah, I would be through the roof if you and Dupre came together on a project, whether if it's an EP, mixtape, whatever. I would be just through the roof, and yeah.
So who made that beat? That's Dupre's track featuring you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, so that's really all him. He just asked me to be on it, which I was honored to do because I'm a fan of him. It wasn't just because he was family. It was easy to say yes because it was family, but it was also easier to say yes because I'm also a fan of his music. So
Yeah, shout out to Dupre. Shout out to Dupre. So what's up, Licio, man? What's goody?
So I want to know because I said she's gonna get 10 new followers doing that track. So I want to know who followed her.
Well, I know she got 2 more right now.
Put it in the chat. I want to know who followed her because she definitely deserves it. You guys.
Somebody, Raphael just put it in the chat. He said she just got 2 more followers.
All her information is.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Now I do know that the booking email is at the bottom of the screen as well. Are you accepting features? Are you open to working with new artists right now?
Yes, I'm always open. I'm always willing to hear what people offer, and if I feel led to do it, then I would do it. But yeah, and I don't really charge. If you want to bless me, that's always great. But I don't really have a fee where this is how much you do for me to be on your piece. I'm not like that.
So what's your 5 years looking like as far as the music goes for you? Are you trying to do this long term? Is this just the season you in right now? Another way for you to minister? Like where you at with it?
Um, Honestly, that's always a hard question for me, but I definitely do have the desire to do it long term. I would. That's definitely the desire. That's the dream. If God leads me that way, that that's up to Him to show and let me know if that's the route. But right now, I'm just going to continue putting out the music that He's put on my heart, and I'm continue to. I'm definitely someone that likes to make art, so I'm going to continue to create because that's what He made me do. So
And being that you from Cincy and y'all seem to have all like the cheat codes over there. So many dope artists coming out of Cincinnati, man. I'm definitely a fan of Cincinnati now. You know what I mean? But being that you're from there and there's so many dope artists over there, who is it that you trying to work with in the future?
um, there's so many people that I would love to work with. Definitely another Cincinnati person I'm a fan of, and obvious. And I said I work with him in the studio, Scott. Um, I would love to work with K Drama. Um, uh, there's also some people that I'm already like works with. So as far as
You can't.
singers,
It's nobody you can say right now. It's still in the cut with it.
um, another singer that we have a song together is going to be on my next project is K Way. She's also another singer from Cincinnati. So
Mhm.
definitely check her out. She's an amazing vocalist, amazing spirit, super
Shout
dope,
out to K
talented.
Way. Shout out to K
Um,
Way.
so as far as singers, I would say in Cincinnati right now, there's not too many that I'm connected with. The funny thing is, when I came out, I got connected to so many rappers before singers. So really, the only real singers that I would say that I have relationship with that I will work with, that I have worked with, that I know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely a fan, and I want to continue working with is Scott Sims and K Way, Cincinnati wise. Obviously my mom, but I feel like that's more of a no brainer because that's my mom. She's the reason I am a lot of how I am now. I wouldn't be able to have a lot of the abilities I do now without her pouring into me.
Shout out to moms. Again, shout out to moms.
But I would say a lot of Cincinnati music singers so far that I've met so far, not many are on the same kind of vibe as me. Most Cincinnati singers that I know right now are very, very worship based, which is they're amazing worshipers. But I'm not just in that box. And then there's a lot of gospel, like more traditional gospel
Mhm.
driven singers in Cincinnati, which amazing vocalists, but that's not exactly my box.
Okay. All right.
So, you mentioned your group AFTL. Let's talk about how did you meet them, and what made them want to invite you into their label or their group.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, ATL, that's the family. And we legit are like family. We don't just work together, we fellowship together. And before joining, it was actually a lot of fellowshipping before actually joining. So I originally met Devin and Gigi, um, uh, Reborn, um, back in 2020, right before early January 2020, right before COVID was announced it was in the US. Um, and I got connected because Iceberg was doing a music video that Gigi was featured on, and I met them there. And then actually, Alicia connected me and was like, "Hey, she's an artist, blah blah blah." So that was the initial like conversation connection, and then Reborn being who he is.
Alicia be putting in that work. I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, son. Honestly, B, that kingdom servant name you got, perfecto, papi. Finito. That's you all day, you heard?
Yeah. So shout out to Alicia for starting that conversation. But Reborn doing what he is, like when he heard, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check it out," and he did. And he was like, "Oh, I really like your music." And he was like, "I would like to work with you, so I'll hit you up, because I want to work with you." So I'm thinking, maybe that be someone somewhere more down the line or something. But he legit like hit me up maybe like a week later and was like, "Hey, I got a song." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so that's how I got featured on a lot. That was the first feature I did with Reborn. And since then, because of the one thing about Reborn and Gigi, like when they rock with someone in their ministry and their music, they really like rock with them and they promote them. They don't just be like, "Oh, I'm a fan," and then closet fan. They are someone that like they really like. If I posted something new, when I posted my video Called to Be, they shared it. When I post music, they shared it with their friends. Honestly, I feel like I have more of a following in Dayton than in Cincinnati because of them. Like they connected me to some of the people. So before I even was with AFTL, because of the connections that they helped me make, I got put onto some of the shows that they were doing as AFTL, but I was like an addition with other artists. So that was about a
for
year.
The people,
that
what does AFTL mean for the people?
AFTL means active for the Lord, and it comes from Hebrews 4:12, where the word is alive and active.
Yeah, active for the Lord. You heard? Stay active for the Lord, man. That's such a dope name. I like
that. But I pretty much fellowship with them for a year, so it wasn't just all music. Music originally connected us, but they are also people that like they want to get to know you. So came around. They will have hangouts. Sometimes I would try to make it if I can. Drive up. I have no obligations. I'm single, so I'm like I can drive anytime I want. Like so go up there. Go up there and I really do love connecting with people and building new relationships with people, and that's where my extroverted side comes out. So just able to get to know them was a joy. And then they will joke around a lot, like, "Hey, you be around so much, you get so much joy. You should be an actor for the Lord." And then like a year later, after joking around and being around them, they actually was like officially like, "You know what? You should really be about it." And also Reborn and Gigi are someone like they pray about stuff. So it wasn't just you're cool, you make good music, like come along. No, it's like they prayed about it. Every person that's a part of Active for the Lord, Reborn has. And also that is Reborn's vision. It was his vision. He started that, but he prayed about it. And me and my cousin actually joined around the same time. So he knew them before me, and he was also similar, like he fellowship with them a lot too. But it was around the same time that we officially both joined. And so that's kind of how it came about. And now though that's really like the bro and the sis, and I trust them to like support me. They always, one thing I love about them, they always gonna speak truth. Like I don't have to worry about if they speaking something that's like off with when it comes to the word. They really are people that are going to speak truth. They are never afraid to preach anything about Jesus. They love to preach about Jesus, and it's hilarious because you get two sides from them. You get the goofy side, or you don't get the Jesus side. Like there's no in between, and I love them for that. And I love the
love the fact. I love the fact that he prays before he lays hands on people. You know, and for those that are not familiar with the term laying hands, doesn't always mean come here, let me pray for you. Laying hands was a term that they used in them days to elevate somebody in position. So, you know, when it tells you don't be so quick to lay hands, he's not saying don't touch people. What he's saying is be careful not to elevate just anybody into a position where, you know, they ruling over whatever God called you to do. So super fire that he did that. I mean, again, I think it speaks to the biblical character of Jesus, you know what I mean, and what he said he would do in us the minute we chose to believe in him and be born again. We're being molded into the image of God's son. So, again, man, shout out to Reborn for that.
So I know we have about 14 more minutes before the end of the show. Hopefully everybody has shared and enjoyed tonight. Shout out to K-Way. She was in the chat asking if we played. I'm guessing you got a song with K-Way or K-Way got a song with you. Anyway, we have not played it because I have not heard it. But maybe next time, maybe next year, when the project comes out and the playlist is out, maybe we can invite both of y'all back. We got to break down that track.
You say next year sounds so far away, and I forget that we're like right around the corner.
Literally, you can blink and it's gonna be 2023. Real talk.
He said next year, and like a red flag went off in my head. I'm like, next year? Like, that's like super curving somebody. Got you next year, bro. Next year. Nah. But next year, right around the corner. So. All right, but so we don't got the song with
we do not have the song with K-Way and Ariyana, but I am glad that you guys are working together. You know, shout out to K-Way, like you said, phenomenal singer. Man, she can rap too. Man, I probably gotta get her on the show too in like November, December. But I want to say, so we have. I think the next video is Wherever You Are and A Lot. Man, A Lot was a heavy track. Like I cried listening to that. Like that's heavy. It speaks a lot of truth. So,
Wherever You Are or A Lot.
So
both with Reborn, right?
So Ariyana, which one is your favorite? And whichever one you pick, that's one we're gonna play.
Honestly, A Lot is my favorite. I just like that. Especially because with Reborn, a lot of times, I feel like that was like a vulnerable track you got from him. And a lot of times we see Reborn as like he kind of brings the energy, but you get a different side of that. It's all good, K-Way. But that's my favorite, and also the first one I was able to do with him, and because of that, he allowed. He brought a lot of doors, opened a lot of doors for me, with just giving me that honor to be on the track.
So let's go ahead and run that. Let's go ahead and run that A Lot video. Again, you guys, this is Reborn A Lot featuring our guest Ariyana Marie. A Lot is on all streaming platforms, and you know, definitely subscribe so you can watch the video at any time you want.
Yeah, and all the information is at the bottom of the screen in case you're wondering. Again, her Cash App is there as well if you feel driven to sow into her. Like it takes physical keys to open physical doors. We got to pay studio sessions to record this music. So if God put it on your heart, man, sow into the sis, and you already know.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I know you're gonna dig this.
All glory to God. We only do this for the king, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Just had to be honest.
Let's go, shit it loud.
Fake it no more. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel. All I know is pray. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah. You can do a lot with a heart. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel. All I know is pray. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. Ay, all I got is this prayer in me. All I got is this prayer in me. Lord, I know you there for me. All I got is this word in me. It's the only thing I'm standing on. You promise you would care for me. I keep it G. It's some things I've been going through. I call the homies and they say they've been going too. So tell me what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to crucify the flesh. I'm trying to do right. I've been mentally fatigued for a few nights. I've had mental health issues through my whole life, and I wouldn't say nothing cause the pride in me. All this time I've been carrying a lie in me, acting like I'm all good, but I'm not really. I know your word has set me free cause it's alive in me. You see me smiling every day cause it's the God in me. You see his joy and I let his light shine through me. I'm speaking out of faith cause everything must flee. He whom the sun sets free, he is free indeed. A new heart is what I want,
Yes,
God
sir.
created me. I can't wait to testify about what you done for me. See, I'm speaking out of faith cause everything must flee. He whom the sun sets free, he is free indeed. A new heart is what I want, God created me. I can't wait to testify about what you done for me. Ay. To do, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel. All I know is pray. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to feel. All I know is pray. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. You can do a lot with a heart. Yeah, yeah. Ay. At this point in my life, I just felt like I had to be transparent. I couldn't fake it no more, no matter what come. We overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
All glory to God.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I thought it was about to end, man, quick. My bad. So, yo, shout out to the song, though. I love that. I love that, man. I definitely love the visual, you know what I mean? Cuzzle dressed up and everything for the part, you know what I mean? So it made it super, super, super dope.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. So for those who don't know, when I book these guests, I do my homework. So first of all, I'm already a fan of Ariyana Marie, so I knew we had her coming up. I knew Jay Meezy wanted videos, so I went right to my YouTube playlist and I selected all the videos tonight. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed every video. And we got one more video. One more song. I'm a fan of Sis. Hopefully you guys are too. Again, her information is at the bottom. Her IG is there. Her Facebook is there. Her booking email is there. And her Cash App is there. So definitely, if you are a newfound supporter, man, go ahead and follow her and show her some love and some support tonight.
Word. So you got an album out right now? Is it out like on all streaming platforms? Because I didn't put that up in the info.
I have an EP out right now. It's called Unapologetic. It is on all streaming platforms. I'm trying to think. So most of my songs are on that EP. The only ones that are not on that EP is Faith Walk and Walls, but those are also on all streaming platforms. Just search Ariyana Marie, Unapologetic, and then it should bring you up to my page and you can see all my music.
Okay, all right. So when you said you went to college, what did you major in?
I majored in history.
History? What type of history?
There was no focus. So originally, I went in for education. Basically, I just switched to history, and the original plan was to go get my master's in education. But all of that flipped once I graduated. I really don't see myself going back to school.
I asked the question because I love to look into history, but not just any history. I look into like more biblical history and all that. Is that something you looked into when you was?
I actually the most of the history classes I took were more surrounded by U.S. Or African. But what draws me to history is I really like to see where things came from. So um, the the history, like, which is probably why I like to ponder a lot, because I like to think of, like, okay, how did this start? But I like to see the beginning and how things have progressed since then, and that's why history draws me. Just seeing that a lot of people say they don't like history because it makes me sad. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is
yeah,
what it is, man. It's
even
the
even if you're living in the present, not everything is happy. Just
it's
saying.
facts, facts.
But but it just lets you reflect on one, especially when you look at Black history. It lets you reflect on where we used to be compared to where we are now, which is a lot to see, because there are some rough periods when it comes to Black history, but we've progressed since then, and there's still a way to go. So that's also one of the most interesting to me, just seeing Black history. It's not all happy, but I like to see where it used to be to compared to where we are now. Um, but definitely the biblical history. Like, sometimes my pastor, he would when he would talk about certain things and he gives the history, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, I do like to see the history of stuff like that too as well. It's just
What's something that interests you the most about history? Like, if you had to pick one thing to look into, what's something that you would look into?
hmm,
Like, maybe what time period would you look back into?
maybe the the 60s.
60s.
Yeah, because there was so much that happened. Um, Obviously, the most highlighted is the civil rights era. Um, when we look at Black activists, but there was like so many different movements back in the 60s. Um, like the Black civil rights movement, that actually sparked a lot of other movements, which is why the civil rights era had so many movements in a time. Because when you look at Black history, and um, when they started these movements, it started around the 40s, after um, Black soldiers was coming back from World War II and saw that they were fighting for their country, but then coming back home and their circumstances didn't come. Then that kind of sparked more outrage and unrest with the conditions that we had, and with that, other minorities. So when we look at the Hispanic community, Mexican community, Latino, that sparked some of their movements, that sparked movements for women. In other areas, women's had the suffrage movement before then, but there was still also other women's rights that they were fighting for in that time period too. So there were just so many different movements that sparked out of the 60s. Um, and even just if you look at just when it comes to the Black history part of the civil rights era, they just went from different ideologies throughout that time period. So it was just so much happening that you can dive into so much.
Yeah. Have you found knowing history has helped you better minister the gospel, maybe speak to a person on a more personal level and all that? Or is it just like, yeah, it's good head knowledge?
I don't know, but I don't think I've actually really thought about that. I would say it just makes me look at life differently, because I'm naturally curious. So I always like to see the origins of things or how we got to
Yeah.
places.
Yep.
So because of that, um, I think I naturally come to places of, if someone tells me about certain things, and maybe it doesn't align biblically, but I want to see where they come from. I want to come from a place of understanding, and I feel like history,
Mm.
having that mindset of knowing history, comes from a place of understanding how we got here. Like, there's so much that we can learn from history of why culture is the way it is, why certain communities are the way they are, because if you look at history. some people will just be thinking, why are circumstances like this? Well, if you look back at this time, this is why this is this. So I think that brings that mindset also is how I apply that when it comes to people and speaking to people. Like, I really want to know, how do you get there? I also try to challenge myself, because sometimes we as people can be quick to judge.
Facts, super facts.
Especially if we don't agree with it. But I think it also challenged me to think, okay, where are they coming from? Before I get quick to, well, this is my mindset, this is how I live, why aren't you living this way? It helps me to think of, well, let's ask more questions. Let's see. So where did this start? Okay. All right. And it helps me get a more understanding. And then also the hope is to remember that, to point them to God. So
yeah. I love to get into history. I always like to use it as more of a table talk type of conversation where it's interesting. We could look at it. We can even disagree on it. It's not something that we should become enemies over, but definitely love to look at history. But it's true what you say, man, that, you know, history not a lot of people like history. They don't like to look into it because it could be painful. It could be sad, you know, but you got to consider, man, the growth of mankind and mankind becoming civilized and all of that. I mean, it's a whole nother podcast, you know what I'm saying? I just figured I'd ask you because you went to school, so word. What we got? History is very important, Douglas says. You're right, man. I definitely agree.
What's going on?
Who's this?
Douglas Rogers is.
Yeah. We just had him on the podcast too, man. Yeah, he wanted to fire. Yeah, I'll be spinning his music on the regular, B. I love that cat right there, man. Super talented. And the other brother, man, I forget what his name. We just had him on here too, man.
Peasy?
No, not Peasy. Nah, we just had him here.
Who?
Nah, not Edify. I don't know. Reginald Hicks. I know it's his name on Facebook.
Yeah. RPG.
Yeah, fire artist too, man. I'll be spinning his music.
He's a part of AFTL too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So this is the thing about this podcast that I find so dope, man, is that I've come across so many dope Christian artists. There's so much music, and I'm coming from a place where I didn't think there was that much music. Here I am thinking that I'm gonna be this rapper that's gonna be a Christian rapper, and we're gonna inspire people to rap about God. And next thing you know, I come into like a whole wave of artists, and you know, and then clicking up with Alicia, man, he been putting me on, cause you know, I'll be all over the place with it. So for me to just be finding new artists is gonna be very rare for me. But man, God bless me with this bro right here, cause he keep me updated with y'all. So I'm definitely humbled that I met y'all. You know what I mean? So many dope artists coming out of Cincinnati. For anybody who's watching, definitely want to check in with Cincinnati, man. They doing things on that side, you heard? And you gonna hear, like, when this wave come through, don't be surprised if it starts off with a Cincinnati wave first, you know what I mean? Facts, because they not playing no games over there. They not playing no games. Singers, rappers, all that. You know what I mean?
We just getting started. I talked last Saturday. I went to the concert with Mariah, who is I think her stage name is God's Ink Pen, and she does poetry. So just be on the lookout. She might be on the show too. Just saying. I'm always working. Like Ariana's always thinking. I'm always working.
I would hope that everybody's always thinking at some point. No, we playing, man. So look, man, I think we went a little over. But we're gonna play this. We got this last video. What is it called? The Lot, you said?
No, it's called Wherever You Are.
Oh yeah, you're right. We just played a lot. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So this last joint right here is called Wherever You Are, featuring Reborn. You know what I mean? Again, information is at the bottom of the screen.
Actually, Reborn, Wherever You Are, featuring Ariyana Marie.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yo, pardon me, man. I can only see part of the name, so I'm like reading half of it, guessing the rest of it. So, you know what I mean? But glory to God either which way. Let's get into this joint right here. It's called Wherever You Are.
Get ready to worship. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Let's go. Show the sis support. Go like, subscribe, follow, stream.
I just wanna be wherever you are.
Be a fan right now.
willing
Don't
to
jump
do
on the
whatever,
bandwagon later. I'm telling you right now, you
just to
getting a
be
head
wherever
start.
you
Let's
are.
go.
That's where I'll be, wherever you are. That's where I'll be, wherever you are. That's where I'll be. Me inside of you, you inside of me inside of you inside of me, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
All glory to God.
Wherever you are, that's where I wanna go. You got me feeling like I just won a Super Bowl. Hey, I just wanna feel your presence in the studio. We'll have a Holy Ghost party in the studio. We sing it ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party, cause a Holy Ghost party don't. Y'all know the rest, I'm just trying to stay blessed. Eat better, kill the flesh. Set apart from the world, but never treat them like they less. Cause the God that I serve, a leader, none and number one. And the truth be told, all of us have been that one. We need the blood, y'all. It's only by grace, who am I to judge, y'all? It's only by faith, nothing I can earn, y'all. John 3:16, that's love, y'all. We need the blood, y'all. It's only by grace, who am I to judge, y'all? Wherever you are.
Glory to God.
All glory to
That's
God.
where I'll be, wherever you are.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Me inside of you inside of me inside of you inside of me, wherever you are, wherever you are.
We sing it ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party, cause a Holy Ghost party don't stop. We sing it ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party, cause a Holy Ghost party don't stop. Look, I can't lie, I wanna be with you. Every promise that you make, I agree with you. I can't do it by myself, I do my thing with you. I ain't gotta be the star, I'm on a team with you. Cause the God that I serve is a big God. You tell me when it's my time like a wristwatch. I give him Christ every song, not just hip hop. I ain't worthy to tie the thong of his flip flops. I'm saved now, but it's by grace. It was nothing that I could earn, but it took faith. Yeah, it's only by grace. I was guilty of every crime, he took my place. Wherever you are,
Wherever you are, that's where I'll be. Wherever you are, that's where I'll be. Me inside of you inside of me inside of you inside of me, wherever you are, wherever you are.
Like that.
I wanna run nobody. See, I wanna run nobody. Say, fill me up, God. Till I wanna run nobody. I wanna run nobody.
That's fire. That's fire. I like you caught me with the okie doke at the end of that video though. I thought we was at the end. I looked, it said 50 seconds left. I was like, oh, okay. But I like the way it ended it though. So what was that? Is that like a church that y'all did?
Nope.
Like y'all, nah. The reason why I asked is because
Friends getting together.
yeah, so the reason I asked, because the church that I was a part of, that's how we used to meet up too, like that. Like we be in the backyard, you know what I mean? And it'd be like that. It looked just like that. That's why I was like, yo, like, everybody doing that? You know what I mean?
I was salty. I was invited to that video shoot by Reborn, and I don't know if I had Tristan that night or I didn't have the gas to get up to Dayton or whatever. But the video came out great, and I was sorry I was left out.
So
Yeah,
what
that
was
was
yeah, go ahead.
that was a lot of the group of friends they had up there, and the fun fact where we did the last scene at So that was that wasn't planned to be at that spot. We were actually next door to where we were supposed to be. So there's another artist named Holly. Probably gonna butcher her last name. Mutlu.
Something like
Mutlu?
that. Yeah.
Um, but anyways, so they're good friends with her, and we were supposed to do that portion in her backyard, because she had a little fire pit. But the lighting was terrible because it was at night. She had no lights around, so it would be super dark. So um her next door neighbors was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we told them, and they was like, "Well, how about you come over here?" Like, they
That's what's up, though. That's what's up. That's what's up.
they let us use all these strangers. They don't know us.
That's called favor, man. God gives you favor.
Yeah, they let us use their whole little setup. It was very nice. And they actually was watching. I think there was the husband and their kids was watching the game like a little bit in front of us from where we were shooting, but they let us just use that, and it was like, yeah, if you ever want to use it again, let us know. And it was just funny how that was orchestrated in that moment. And but it was really that moment when we went into the worship at the end that really was not orchestrated, sorry, it wasn't orchestrated to like, let's just do worship right now, but we just had a prayer moment and it went into worship. So that last clip was part of what that was. And he did want to have a moment where we could just worship together because, like, we had s'mores, we had snacks, so it was all supposed to be kind of like a fun get together, and then worship, which is why it had instruments too. But it wasn't like, okay, right now we need to go into the song. This is the worship song we're doing, and this will be recorded. It's just what came about.
Yeah, nah, you could tell it was natural. That's why I was thinking about my church, man, because it just reminded me of that vibe, where it's just, there's another service that I go to called the Vortex, and I've never been to something like this before. Yeah, man, exactly what it sounds like, man. It's a whirlwind of just like worshiping and just, it's weird, man. Like, but I've been to this Vortex, and they'll tell you like, just grab something, make noise. And what's crazy is that I sat in the back and I recorded everything while everybody was just grabbing things, making noise. And when I played it back, it sounded like an orchestra. Like, it was crazy. So it just reminded me of that type of vibe where you just come together and let's just worship God from however, like whoever you are, grab something, make noise, and that's the vibe that it gave me. Right. Definitely like that track. I'm looking forward to having Reborn on here, man. I seen him already in a couple videos.
I've been in the works with him for like 2 weeks, no cap. Like, I've been calling, I've been texting, and hopefully
we definitely got to get him on. He got that song, man. I used to do this little DJ podcast. I'm not a DJ, but I would be that if I had to be, and I would always be spinning his song. On the third day, got him up out of here. What's that song?
Empty Tunes.
Yeah, Empty. Oh yeah, man, so I had that on. Crazy. That was like my beginner for like a whole week straight, man. That song right there, fire. So, yo, Reborn, man, if you watching this, man, come through. We need to shine light on you, cuzzo, man. You already making a lot of noise that you probably don't even know about yet.
For sure, for sure. And those who know Reborn, let him know. Because he ignore my texts and calls.
He got to come on the podcast, man. You heard? So, yeah, sis, man, definitely humbled to have you on, man. I'm looking forward to what you got coming out in the future. Maybe, one day, man, we'll all be able to connect and make a dope song together. But whatever the case may be, I just want you to know that this is a platform for you. This is a home for you. You got something coming out. You got anything going on in your church, any events you want to promote, just reach out. You obviously know Alicia personally. Reach out. We here to serve, man. So whatever we can help you with, whatever, any connections we can make, reach out, man. We're here for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Once again, just thank you for the opportunity to even be on.
Yeah, definitely, man. Keep
Ariyana,
doing what you're doing.
Like I said earlier in the show, I did my homework, and I noticed that either on Instagram or on your Facebook artist page, business page, it has a website it doesn't work anymore. So, are you in the works for another website?
It needs to be updated, but it's more so. I need to connect the domain back to it.
Yes.
So that just hasn't been connected to it. I do have a website, but it just needs to be updated, and I have to connect the domain back to it. That's it.
Gotcha. Are you? What's my question? No, I think I already asked that question.
That's how you know he's a busy man. You know, that's how you know he working constantly, man.
I am. So first of all, I met a lady. There's a networking marketing platform that I use called Alignable. It's only online. I don't know if there's an app or anything for it, but I've met and connected with like different people in Cincinnati, business owners, entrepreneurs, radio personalities from like around the world. And I was talking to this young lady in Las Vegas earlier, that does like some kind of like program for like government assistance, and like whether you are on assistance or not on assistance, she can still help you with everything that she's offering through this government program. Tablets, phones, whatever you got. I mean, whatever your circumstance is, she can help you with these new products, kind of like the Obama phone that everybody get or whatever. And so I was talking to her, and then my niece, homecoming is tomorrow. So I'm talking to the guy that's supposed to bring the car while I'm responding to this lady in Las Vegas, while I'm listening, making sure that we play all the music and videos while I'm still texting Reborn and everybody else. So I'm doing a lot of.
That's a jack of all trades right there. Multitasking, man. Super multitasking. That's like your superpower, man. If you had to be a superhero, that would be your superpower, bro. Multitasking. Yeah,
well, Ariyana, have you enjoyed yourself tonight? I know this is your first time meeting Jay Meezy, but have you enjoyed yourself tonight?
No, I have. I really enjoyed this time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you for coming on and allowing us to be a servant to you. You know, definitely appreciate meeting you today as well. You know, your music is super fire, especially the Walls joint. Like, I think that by far is my favorite right there, you know, which is actually the one that I'm going to end the show with. But anything that we could have asked you, anything you wanted to talk about that you wanted to shine light on that we didn't ask about?
I mean, I guess I just want to reiterate, like, one, I want to thank for just all the encouragement that I seen in the comments. I didn't get a chance to say thank you, but I did see your encouragement, your comments, your compliments. I appreciate it. I thank you. All glory to God, because without him, I wouldn't be able to do it. And just thank you for even just hearing what God has put on my heart. Like I said, it always comes from a place where I don't think I have everything together. Honestly, none of us have it all together. And if you hear anyone that's at a platform ministering that say they have it all together, they're lying. But yeah, it's all coming from a place where I'm encouraging myself while I'm encouraging you. So I hope you guys were encouraged and blessed. I hope it showcased God, not me. It's not meant to boast me. So most importantly, I hope that you guys felt something that God was trying to talk to you about through what you heard through my music today.
Man, amen. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us. Yeah, man, time is super valuable. We don't want to take it for granted at all. Shout out to Alicia with the daycare over there. Yo, what's up with the daycare you got? I didn't know you had a daycare business too. Yo, you got a bunch of rugrats over there, man.
So, you guys, I mentioned that my oldest niece is going to homecoming tomorrow. This is my niece Lizzie, and this is her friend Karma, who's going to homecoming tomorrow. So, I'm in talks with this guy who's
I want to go to homecoming. We all want to go to homecoming.
So, so I'm in chat with the. What is that? So I'm in the chat with this guy named, I think his name is Bill or something, that's gonna bring a specific a specific. Can somebody turn Cookie Monster off? Who is that? But I'm in chats with Billy to bring this very specific exotic car tomorrow for this beautiful young lady, my niece,
And me.
and yeah. So I just wanted to shout her out. Is this your first homecoming? So this is her first homecoming, and so I'm trying to make it a big deal. So I just want to shout out my niece.
Well, shout out to you. Shout out to you and your homecoming. I hope you have a good time, a great experience. Shout out to you. All right, so you good? That's it?
That is it. I know we have one or two more announcements, but I just want to shine light on my niece because I'm proud of her and I love her. She's my oldest niece, and she came to me, Uncle Chico. I want, you're in the car community. I want something fancy to pull up in. So I pulled some strings. I made some posts, made some phone calls, sent some emails, and I made it work. So I'm looking forward to it.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Tomorrow we got one
body in the building.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow we got the one body in the building. You know what I mean? So anybody who's rocking with us, stay tuned for that tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel.
7 p.m.
You know what I mean? Looking forward to that.
Have a reminder. Slap it on your forehead. I don't care what you got to do. Just be here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Word. And you already know, man. Shout out to the sis for being on here, man. Go follow her. Go stream her music. You know what I'm saying? She did say her album, her first, your last album, right? The last album.
It was an EP.
EP. Yeah, so she was that like 5. I'm not hip with the EP, LP. Like I always get that confused. So what the EP's like 5 songs, right?
Yeah. It's
So
basically like under or it's a project that's under 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, the EP's already streaming on all streaming platforms. Go show that support. And you already know, shout out to Ariyana Marie, sis. Very humbled that you came on here and allow us to shine light on you. And you already know I'm gonna end this joint with this last song. It's called Walls. Super fire. Pay attention to the words.
Before we get out of here, you guys, I want to give a shout out to my sister, Lizzie's mom, Lisa Warlick. She is the founder and owner behind All Things Essential Oils and More LLC. So if you guys need any butters, you guys see it. I get that wrong all the time. If you guys need any butters, creams, healing aids, and more custom orders, eczema, whatever you're going through, there is a specific ingredient. There's a specific product that you can use from the earth. God gave us these things so we don't always have to run to CVS or Walgreens or our doctor or our pharmacist. You guys can purchase some products from her no matter what you're going through. If it's asthma or no matter what it is. If it's, you got anxiety, she got everything. So definitely check her out, Kanisha Warlick. She has a YouTube channel. You guys see it right there. Subscribe today. If you need that phone number, I'm sorry, I get that wrong all the time. You guys definitely hit me up. And if you need graphics, I made this. You see her logo? I made that as well. So if you guys need anything and I can help, inbox me, hit me up. But definitely check out Kanisha. Support her products. I will put her website in the chat so you guys could have it for later on. But definitely just support the fam. You feel me? Don't just support me.
We gotta support the Kingdom Ministries, Kingdom businesses. You heard? We gotta support, man. We know the children by the love that they have for each other.
Fact.
So yeah, man, everything good. God bless y'all so much. God bless the chat for rocking with us, man. I bless you, sis, man. I just thank God for your life. I thank God for the ministry He's put on your heart, and I just thank Him for the doors that He's gonna continue to open in your life, and the favor that you're gonna receive before men as you continue to go forward in obedience to God, right? So shout out to you. Let's get into this last joint called Walls. Pay attention. It's a serious, serious song. You heard?
Okay, I'm reloaded.
I'm surrounded by walls now, and I'm currently building a fence around my heart.
This right here too fire. You heard?
Can you tear these walls down? Can you peel away the pain in the skies? Well, if you had the key, I'll give you everything. Just agree to help me sort through the shame. See if it's left to me, I'll just run and leave. But something about you says it's okay to say. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how to bring them down. I tried and I tried and I can't seem to find a melody to do it. So let's all the trumpets loud, march around, bring Jericho down. Please help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how. I tried and I tried a million times, but when I tried myself, I fell, break down and cry. I can't do this on my own. I need your strength to help me through this. I need thee, oh powerful. It's really hard to see why you be leaving me. So keep showing me and showing me until I know. I know you're not my enemy, but I'm your enemy. So I'll trust you to lead me through this battle of Jericho. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how to bring them down. I tried and I tried and I can't seem to find a melody to do it. So let's all the trumpets loud, march around, bring Jericho down. Please help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how. See, I'm scared to get over it, 'cause I'll miss the comfort. And I try not to think about it, but it's time to do better. See, I gotta do better, and I wanna do better. God, help me do better. Help me tear my walls down, 'cause I don't know how to bring them down. I tried and I can't seem to find a melody to do it. So let's all the trumpets loud, march around, bring Jericho down.
Got him! Got him!
KS Radio Show, hosted by Alicio, aka KS. You got a new hot record you can't get on the airways? Well, they take music submissions over here at Alicio Torres 1989 at yahoo.com.
Say what?
Alicio started the KS Radio Show in January 2016, and it is recorded live every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time through www.blogtalkradio.com. Not only is the KS Radio Show the home of the most exclusive music and interviews, you can also give a birthday shout out to your homies.
Happy birthday!
Follow on Instagram and Twitter at KS Radio Show, or contact Alicio directly. His phone number is 513-370-4968. Alicio is down to interview anybody with a testimony, so get with it or get lost, get right or get left. Yeah.
FRIENDS, miss me with them indirect boxes on the internet. I passed on never intersect. How you in the click, but you don't know me at all. All your shots get intercepted, so don't throw me the ball.
Got him! Got him!